welcome back. Or if this is your first time here, welcome. In April 2014, Boko Haram kidnapped 276 Christian schoolgirls from Chibok, Nigeria. 82 of them are still missing. In 2018, they took a girl named Leah Sharibu. She refused to convert. She's still in captivity. Last month, 300 more students were taken from St. Mary's School. The pattern is always the same: capture, convert, or disappear. If you want to understand what's happening right now, you need to understand what I'm about to show you. The empire has changed. The system hasn't. Tonight, I'm walking you through the most sophisticated human trafficking operation in history, the Ottoman Imperial Harem. I'm going to show you exactly what happened when a Christian nun was captured and processed through the system. The price for a virgin from a Cypriot convent? 20,000 akçe, Ottoman silver coins, about what a craftsman earned in 2 years. Her new name? Gul Bahar, Spring Rose. Her Christian name? Erased from every record. But here's what the official histories don't tell you. Some of them found ways to resist, not with weapons, with silence, with symbols scratched into stone that archaeologists wouldn't discover for 500 years. So before we go deeper, take a moment to like and subscribe if you enjoy what I do here. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from. Now, let's begin. Istanbul, 1570. You're standing in the Avret Pazarı, the female slave market, with palace money. That means first selection before anyone else touches the merchandise. A dealer leads you past the main stalls to a private courtyard. 12 women standing in a line, all captured from Christian territories, most from the recent Cyprus campaign. These, he says quietly, are from the convents of Nicosia. V1RGINS, guaranteed by religious vows. The premium of premiums. He gestures to one in particular. Dark hair, olive skin, the silk dress they've put her in is blue, traditional for captured Christians, a marketing choice. But there's something in the way she holds herself, straight-backed, the posture of someone who spent years in silent prayer. The inspection is clinical. A midwife confirms her vows were kept. The dealer names his price, 18,000 akçe. You don't negotiate. She's recorded in the ledger as unit 4,847. As you lead her toward the carriage, you catch her eyes. Most captives look hollow by this point. She doesn't. There's something still burning behind that gaze. You've seen it before in the expensive ones, the ones who take longer to break. You deliver her to Topkapı Palace, to the harem entrance. The head housekeeper, a woman in heavy velvet worth more than a house, circles her, checks her teeth, examines her hands for calluses. Satisfied, she signals. 2 servants take the woman deeper into the palace. First stop, the hammam, the bathhouse. She's stripped of everything, her traveling clothes, a small wooden cross hidden in her hem, every remnant of who she was. Servants scrub her raw, then apply the rusma, a chemical paste that burns, removing all body hair. The Ottoman aesthetic demands complete smoothness. When she emerges, she smells of rose water. They've washed away the market, the ship, the convent. Next, conversion, a small chamber, an imam waiting. She must recite the Shahada, the Islamic declaration of faith. She hesitates. The head housekeeper reminds her that refusal means the sack and the boss for us, no third option. She whispers the words. But here's what they don't see. As she speaks the Arabic, her fingers trace the shape of a cross against her thigh. Hidden, automatic. The body remembering what the tongue is forced to deny. Then, the renaming, you will be called Naz Pyre Ver, provoker of grace. Not a name, a brand. The education begins. Turkish, Quran recitation, court etiquette. How to play the oud, a pear-shaped lute. How to deploy charm in ways that keep powerful men interested. And the preparations for the one night that will define her existence. How to enter the Sultan's chamber. How to move forward under the silk covers in total submission. Let's pause here. This is what you actually purchased in that market, not a woman, a lottery ticket. If Naz Per Ver is summoned, if she pleases the Sultan, if she conceives, she becomes royalty, a Kadin, a consort, her own apartments, her own servants, 3,000 silver coins a day, enough to build mosques. If she's never summoned, she remains Kahriya, lowest rank, scrubbing maid, 6 coins a day until she's married off to some minor official as a political favor. The system is a meat grinder with a golden ticket hidden inside. Most women are ground up. A few emerge as empresses. Years pass. Naz Per Ver masters the oud, memorizes Ottoman poetry. Her body fills out on the palace diet, thick buffalo cream, lamb pilaf, honey sherbet, the fattening regimen designed to create curves the Ottoman aesthetic prizes. Then the summons tonight. 4 hours in the hammam, they fumigate her with aloe-wood smoke, dress her in silk so fine it's transparent, paint her eyes, dust her skin with crushed pearls, place drops of ambergris oil, worth more than gold, at her throat and wrists. She walks the corridor, the eunuch opens the door, she enters, she performs. Afterward, the Sultan sleeps. She lies in darkness, fingers moving again, tracing that invisible cross against the silk sheets, the shape she's never stopped making. But here's the machinery behind the curtain. Naz Per Ver was not an individual. She was a line item, 18,000 to purchase, 30,000 in training, total investment, 48,000 akçe. Return on investment, 0. She did not conceive. The Sultan slept with her once. She was returned to the dormitory. The chief eunuch marked her file, Gazde, eye-catcher, 1 night, no child, no second summons. Years as a mid-level servant. Eventually the palace freed her, married her to a tax collector in Anatolia as a political favor. That's the best case for failed inventory. The worst case? Sultan Ibrahim, 1648, paranoid, unstable. A rumor reaches him that one concubine, identity unknown, has been wanked, touched by someone other than him. He orders the unthinkable. 280 women taken in the night, led to the waterside entrance. The Bosphorus is black and cold. One by one, sewn into weighted sacks, thrown in. They don't die with names on gravestones. They disappear. Garbage disposal for contaminated assets. One woman escapes the sack. The records call her the Armenian. A French ship picks her up, carries her to Marseille. She tells a priest. He publishes it. That's the only reason we know. Without her, those 280 would be nothing but a gap in the ledger. But here's what the ledgers couldn't erase. In 1973, archaeologists excavating beneath Topkapı found something unexpected, a sealed chamber behind a collapsed archway. Inside, Christian symbols scratched into stone, crosses, fish, a Latin phrase half worn by time, lux, in tenebris, lutet. The light shines in the darkness. Someone had carved a secret chapel beneath the palace, broken pottery for candle holders, linen scraps for an altar cloth, a mirror shard fashioned into a cross. A Venetian prisoner's letter, discovered separately, describes strange voices beneath the harem, women singing in Latin to a god not of this empire. They kept something. Despite the renaming, the conversion, the training, they found a way to leave a mark that outlasted the empire. So what did the Ottomans do to Christian nuns that was worse than death? They erased them, systematically, bureaucratically. They took women who dedicated their bodies to God and reconsecrated them to the dynasty. They monetized the vow of purity. 18,000 silver coins. Market price for a soul. But erasure requires the subject to stay erased. Some of them didn't. Not with armies, with fingers tracing crosses in the dark, with Latin carved into stone, with silence that outlasted the men who tried to fill it. The system worked. Some women won. Hurrem Sultan, Roxelana, was captured from Ukraine, processed through the harem, emerged as the most powerful woman in the Mediterranean world. Built mosques, commanded armies. The lottery had winners. That's what made it function. The terrible chance that you might crawl from the slave market to the throne room. And that chance is what made it worse than death. Death is final. The The harem made you participate in your own transformation. It made you hope. But beneath the marble, in chambers the Sultan never knew existed, some of them stayed themselves, left proof the transaction was never complete. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it. Right now, Leah Sharibu is still waiting. 82 Chibok girls are still missing. The system relocated, but it didn't change. If you want to do something, search Leah Sharibu or Bring Back Our Girls. The names are different. The transaction is the same. If you made it this far, drop a comment. Would you have taken the gamble? And if you want more stories they tried to bury, subscribe. Next time, the Janissaries. Christian boys taken from their families, turned into the Sultan's killing machine. Same empire, same system, different product line.